so you don't need to get confused there. Alright, so I want you to keep the upside down egg motif here because that really is how your head works. The thinner side of the egg acts as your chin, while the fatter side acts as your brain case. So we're going to start with a circle. Don't be afraid if it does not turn out perfect, they seldom do. And then for the chin part, you're going to have a nice little curve that goes from here to here. No, you'll do this after perspective. Now, once you have that down, I want you to put the line right down the middle. Pardon? Yes. If I'm drawing it, I expect you to do it. Once you have that line, that points where you had started your curve. Give me a horizontal line. Now this setup here is what we call the guiding cross. And what the guiding cross does is that it helps you place the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. And once you have those placed, you're going to also find out where the eyebrows and the ears go. Now, you can also expand upon this, like for example, sometimes I will put a little dashed line around here. What do you think that this dashed line would be? No, not the skull. Where's Lemurian? The hairline. You need to know the hairline because that helps determine where your forehead should be lying. Pardon? That is up to you. All this is being recorded, so it will be on canvas. Now, once your guiding cross is in place, putting everything down becomes a lot easier. Some general shapes to consider. For the mouth, for this, you only need a line. It can be a slightly curved line, it's up to you. For nose, going by the general shape of your nostrils, and really just the holes in your skull, I'll use a triangle. And for the eyes, not quite an oval, but not quite a circle, kind of like a fat oval. Now, I'm sure some of you will go like, well, not everyone has the same shape of eyes. Like, that's true. But everyone has roughly the same shape of eyeballs. It's the skin around the eyes, the eyelids, that determine how much of the eye is seen, and its shape determines what, say, ethnicity someone is. Zoom in here. There we go. Pardon? Yes, because if you look on the skull, this is roughly 2 triangles that's holding a skull. All this, remember, your nose is not bone. The base of it is bone, but your nose by itself is cartilage. So, having placed everything, your eyes are going opposite sides of your vertical line here. That was a bit too far. Yeah, that's better. Your nose then fits right under that. Let's say bridge and nose starts right here. And it meets the line that you can stand out to make the chin. Rather, the India circle, you could say. Your mouth will then go slightly below that. And you want that space because what is this down here? The chin. And once you have those placed, you can place pretty much anything else. For example, consider your pupil. If your pupil is in the middle of your eye, let's say here, the ends of your mouth line up with the middle of your eyes. The bottom of your nose lines up with the very bottom of your ear. And then the ear will line up with the bottom of your eyebrow. Very good. Now, notice how all of my little guidelines here have curves. Why? What was that? Not just your forehead, your entire head. Remember, God does not work with rulers. Every part of you is curved.
Oh, because that is crazy.
Only the guiding cross is actually with straight lines. And even then, that changes once we actually move it around. Because it's not just considering the front view. We also have to consider profile. It's not a mask. You'll see. And we also have to consider the recorder. And what do we say that these circles represent? No.
No.
The ears.
Hold on, what is it? Are you on the side of the face?
Here I am, yes. And this is where our guiding cross starts to have some curve to it. However, the placement does not change. The shapes, however, do. So, for example, in a profile view, you're only drawing how many eyes? One. In profile view, you can't see both person's eyes. You're only going to see one. And for this one, the eye is more like a triangle, except this has a rounded bottom. Now the nose is still going to be a triangle. This will be a different one. But everything else is roughly the same. Three-quarter view. That's where things get a little trickier because now you have to consider two eyes. In this case, one is going to appear slightly smaller than the other. Why?
Because you can see part of the eye. Because it's too close to the
There you go. It's not because it's just three-quarters of view. Is that while technically speaking, one eye is going to be further from the viewer than the other. So if things are closer to you, are they going to be larger or smaller? Larger. Okay, so now let's go into some practice. Now, either using a phone or, since we have a small class here, we can actually team up, person per person. I want you to draw the head of the person that is with you. Now, you're not going into all the features, hair, and all that. We're just going to work on angles. So, I want to get someone frontal, profile, three-quarter, and then try this. I want chin up from the front. Let's go for chin down from the front. And yeah, that should do it. Chin up means that they're looking up, chin down means they're looking down. Which means depending on the position of the head, that changes the shapes once again. So in this case, Alyssa, you were Gray, Curry, with Kennedy. So I'm looking for 5 drawings. Front, profile, three-quarter, chin up, chin down. With that will conclude our Art 2 and 3 section of today.